Tonight on News 5 Live, shock and concern in Louisville following the kidnapping of two residents in Chetumal. Floyd Hyde is murdered at his Regis Street home in Belize City. The Belize Survey 2024 is formally discussed, and in tonight's episode of Belize on Real, we take a closer look at nutrition in schools. We'll bring you up to speed with today's top stories in 1 minute.
My name is Hermine Vega. El Patio Grill has been using Belize Bank for over 25 years. We only use Belize Bank at our restaurant. That's why we were able to win this trip to Europe. I had never been to Europe. We found out it was Madrid and we were excited and we went to this football match. The teams reached before the game and everybody was just outside, you know. You can't explain, the noise just roared like 3 blocks down the street, but when you got in there and you saw 70,000 people in there, that was amazing. I couldn't believe it was happening. I had to pinch myself to make sure it was real, you know, because it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience, I'd say. My lucky plus one was my son. He's 18 years old, so he was really excited and he enjoyed it as well. He said it's his best trip ever, so it's a priceless experience that we got. Belize Bank has always been there for me. Whatever transactions or whatever I need to do, they're always there for me. I would recommend everybody to use Belize Bank. It's the oldest bank in our country and they continue to do their best.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Thursday, October 10th. I am Sabrina Daly. Tonight we have a developing story that's shaken the community of Louisville, Corozal, which is located approximately 25 miles away from the Belize-Mexico border. Luis and Johan Camara, a father and son, were kidnapped in the Subteniente Lopez area of Chetumal, Quintana Roo on Tuesday. On Wednesday evening, Veronica Camara, Luis's sister and Johan's aunt, took to Facebook with a heartfelt video appeal, sharing details about the incident and pleading for any information that could help bring her loved ones home safely. Unfortunately, for her own safety, Veronica has since locked her account, making the video no longer accessible to the public. In her post, Veronica recounted how the kidnapping unfolded and urged anyone with information to come forward. The 48-year-old father and his 19-year-old son were with another family member, Luis's daughter and Johan's sister, where they were taken. News 5's Marian Ali visited Louisville today and spoke with villagers who are in shock over this unprecedented incident. Here's her report.
Upon reaching Subteniente, they were intercepted by masked armed men. Johan managed to reverse and drive past the parked vehicle. The assailants gave chase to my nephew and started to shoot after him. Johan managed to reach the spot where he was supposed to meet my brother, Luis Josue, but by then, the assailants have managed to reach the spot too.
In an emotional audio post on Facebook, Veronica Camara shared the harrowing details of what happened to her nephew, 19-year-old Johan Camara, a student at Instituto Tecnológico Maya. Johan was traveling with his sister in a pickup truck in Chetumal to get some money for gas so he could make it to school. But things took a terrifying turn when they reached the Subteniente Lopez area. A group of men attacked Johan, and when his father, Luis Camara, tried to intervene, he was also forcibly taken. Veronica explained that Johan's sister, who witnessed the whole ordeal, was able to seek help immediately.
Johan was forced out of his vehicle and forced to get in the assailant car at gunpoint. Upon seeing his son forced into the vehicle, my brother tried to stop them, but he was threatened and pushed into the vehicle with his son. The assailants then left, heading to the direction of Chetumal. A call was made to 911, but they did not show up to render help to my niece, who was left behind. It was then that we headed to the Attorney General's office in Chetumal, Quintana Roo, where they gave us prompt assistance in the missing person report and published the notice of the missing persons.
We spoke with two Louisville residents who are left stunned by the news of the kidnapping. One of them saw the father in the village just hours before he disappeared.
What happened to him, this is not usual because we as neighbors of Chetumal, we always go and come right and we go and buy but it affects us in the way that we know we are afraid.
I saw him the day when he went missing. I saw him around 10 o'clock right here in front of the polyclinic with the Chinese man. Okay. He went to buy. That was around 10:30. He just waved his hand saying hello. Okay. Just as if nothing was expected on that day.
Luis Camara is described as always willing to assist in the village.
We know them from long time, and they have been proven community members that they could help when there was need within the community village council. They were asked for assistance and they never said no.
Back in Louisville, the community is reeling with shock and fear. Neighbors and fellow villagers are calling the situation unsettling, and many are now worried about their own safety when crossing the border. So far, the family hasn't received any updates from the Mexican authorities about where their loved ones might be. They've only been told that the search is ongoing. Veronica Camara is pleading with the public for any help they can offer.
To assist in circulating the missing person report of my brother and nephew. The people who know our family knows that we are hardworking, honest, and humble people. We plead to the governor, Mara Lizama, to continue to help our family to bring back my brother and nephew alive and safe. We ask the Belizean government to reach out to help a Belizean family that needs their assistance as citizens of Belize.
Luis Camara is a truck driver and his son Johan has been studying agriculture for the past 4 years in Mexico. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.
There's an ongoing investigation into the tragic murder of a Belize City man on Wednesday night on Reggae Street. Police responded to a call just after 7 p.m. and found the lifeless body of 35-year-old Floyd Hyde, who had been stabbed multiple times and was lying in a pool of blood in the yard. Initial reports indicate that Hyde had left home to go to the store. About 15 minutes later, a family member heard a commotion in the yard and called the police. Moments later, another family member found Hyde's motionless body next to the house. He was rushed to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Why was Hyde targeted? There are rumors that his murder might be connected to an ongoing rivalry in the area, but the police have yet to confirm a motive. Belize City residents 20-year-old Janice Augustin and her 24-year-old sister Janine Augustin are set to stand trial for arson. The sisters were charged for allegedly setting fire to a home in Crooked Tree Village back in July 2022. The wooden house was valued at $30,000 and the household items inside were worth $2,000. This week, their case wrapped up a preliminary inquiry before a senior magistrate, and it's now headed to the High Court for trial in January 2025. During the inquiry, the police prosecutor presented over 30 witness statements to support the charges against the sisters. Interestingly, they weren't charged with arson until 2 years later, on April 12th, following directives from the DPP. Today, they were granted bail of $8,000 each, with two sureties of $4,000 each, which they managed to meet by the end of the day. On top of that, Janice picked up an additional charge for aggravated assault with a dangerous instrument, a hammer, related to an incident on September 30th. She pleaded not guilty and was granted bail of $2,000, which she also met. Janice is due back in court on December 2nd. Coming up, Hurricane Milton rips through Florida, claiming at least 12 lives.
Hello, friends. I'm Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says, "Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good." Men throughout all ages and eternity have sought to deny the reality of Christ and His resurrection. Dr. Paul Tillich was one of those men. On one occasion, he spoke for 2.5 hours trying to prove his belief and concluded that there was no such thing as a historical resurrection and that it was only a religious tradition of the church. He then asked if there were any questions. A rather old man, seemingly uneducated, a preacher, stood up and said, "Dr. Tillich, I got one question." And he reached down into a sack lunch and pulled out an apple and began eating it. "Dr. Tillich, my question is a simple question. Now, I ain't never read them books you read, and I can't recite the scriptures in the original Greek." And he finished eating the apple. He then said, "All I want to know is, Dr. Tillich, this apple I just ate, was it bitter or sweet?" Dr. Tillich paused for a moment and answered in a scholarly fashion, "I cannot possibly answer that question, for I haven't tasted your apple." The old white-headed, uneducated preacher dropped the core of his apple into his crumpled paper bag, looked up at Dr. Tillich and said calmly, "Neither have you tasted my Jesus." The famed doctor promptly left the platform. The Bible says, "Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is a man who trusts in Him." Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
Have you designed a project that protects and preserves our vital mangroves? Now's your chance to be recognized as a mangrove conservation champion. Join the Mangrove Friendly Development Challenge, a national competition celebrating innovative designs that enhance and preserve mangroves on private property. Developers, landowners, and other interested groups are welcome to register before October 15th, 2024. For more information, visit mangrovefriendlychallenge.org.
Coming up, a food odyssey like no other. Getting the most out of cruising. St. Lucia's Peaks, boosted businesses. Serving up the best, a great place to rest. Another take on shrimp. It's all next on this station.
Sbarro, the original New York pizza you know and love. Sbarro's extra-large pizzas are handmade fresh daily with San Marzano-style sauce, 100% whole milk mozzarella on a hand-stretched 17-inch dough. Available whole or by the slice, so you can simply fold, eat, and repeat.
weeks ago, the results of the Belize Survey 2024 were released and shared with the public by the media. This annual survey examines various aspects of Belizean life, such as crime, the economy, corruption, and politics. Earlier today, a press conference was held to discuss the survey's findings. The principal of Viking Strategies kicked things off by explaining how they gathered the information. This year, the survey includes new data on cartel-related crimes, adding a fresh and important dimension to the analysis.
They have a pattern where first one, they go to the right, then they go to the left. And then we collect it online via mobile phones and tablets. So the questions are being asked, they're responding. We can see the GPS location of where they are, which is one check. In addition to that, it tells them, say we're only running into men who are 50 years and older. Once the quota gets filled of that, it will be telling them that the next set of interviews they need to be doing younger women or grandmas or whatever. So that it ends up being that the survey is balanced nationally for gender, age, racial breakdown, demographic breakdowns. And then of course for regions of Belize. The biggest concern in the 15 years we've been doing, the biggest concerns of Belizeans in the 15 years that we've been doing surveys down here are always one of three things. They're always either economic, which can fall in a few different buckets, jobs, prices, general economic issues. There's crime, which ebbs and flows. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes, like in 2014 or now, it's seen as a huge problem. And the last one is government corruption. We ask about other issues, but it is always some combination of the three of those for about 90% of Belizeans. Right now, crime is ascending. And I was talking to one of you about a kidnapping that occurred up in Corozal. What is new in the survey this time, which we had not seen in the past, and it was mentioned in various ways, is this sort of cartel-related crime.
The high cost of living continues to be a major concern for Belizeans, chipping away at their economic confidence. While the findings show that Belizeans are doing better year after year, the rising prices and cost of living are really hitting their wallets hard.
Declining economic confidence. So the cost of living, inflation, and economic inequality is a significant issue for many Belizeans. What is unique, though, is in all the times that we've done surveys here in Belize, people are better off, actually feel better off about their ability to provide basics for their family, pay the electric bill, food, clothes, than they have at any other point that we've been doing surveys. But what's really taking a toll on Belizeans, and this won't surprise you as Belizeans, is rising prices and cost of living. And while people feel like they're doing better, they also don't feel like it's keeping up. As somebody who's worked on a lot of campaigns around the world, I would say if you had a president who ran just in a popular vote, where party is less important, anybody could run. This is a country where you have a third of the population that might consider voting for somebody who's outside of the two parties if it were the right candidate. And that is only going to grow. There eventually will be an election where either those voters stay home en masse or they rise up and sort of go with it. And it's an interesting dynamic for the two parties because at some point, if voters are demanding it, the question will be, they're still sort of tied to that structure as it was. Which party evolves to that new reality and sort of starts to represent them will be the party that ends up at some point. It may not be this election, it may be the next, but is going to have some tremendous success with a very different coalition than what has previously been winning coalitions.
The government of Belize is hosting a two-day Strategic Alliances International Partners Conference to boost dialogue with development partners and enhance collaboration on sustainable growth initiatives. The event, themed Unlocking Climate Finance and Disaster Risk Financing for Sustainable Development, kicked off with remarks from Minister Francis Fonseca and Chief Executive Officer in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Amalia Mai. Prime Minister John Bersenio also addressed the audience, speaking for 30 minutes to Belize's diplomatic corps. While much of his speech resembled a planned Belize address, he did touch on climate change and its impacts on Belize towards the end.
I can't describe it in words of how grateful and the gratitude that myself have, my cabinet, and by extension the people for what you have done. But we still have a lot of more challenges. You know, every day, every week in cabinet, or ministers and representatives are saying we need to extend electricity here, we need a clinic here, we need more roads, we need housing, you know, and the list can go on. And this is where you can continue to play this role, this partnership, a partnership of mutual respect and having the same objectives. That the issues of climate change, of which I always lament, we had nothing to do with climate change. We are doing our part, but in many instances, the developed countries haven't. And it's unfortunate that a hurricane like just went through here in Florida start to raise more awareness in the minds of people and saying that, hold on, this thing is really serious. The issue that finally the developed countries are starting to talk about loss and damage, that you all now are starting to think about, starting to preparing about having a fund where when we have a hurricane, all of that what we have is we only need one hurricane and we could lose 50% of GDP, God forbid. But loss and damage. I used to hate speaking when I was the Minister of Environment about adaptability. I said, why should we adapt? We have not caused that problem, this problem. The reality is now, we have to adapt.
The dreaded hurricane that Florida residents were bracing for has finally passed, but not without causing significant devastation. At least 12 lives were lost, many more people are now homeless, and millions are without power. The hurricane made landfall near Siesta Key, Florida late Wednesday evening as a Category 3 storm, packing winds of 120 miles per hour. It uprooted trees and knocked down light poles, causing widespread power outages along Florida's Gulf Coast. Many Belizeans living in the storm's path were affected. While there have been no reports of Belizean casualties, many are now beginning the arduous task of cleaning up and repairing their damaged homes. Before hitting land, the hurricane had intensified to a Category 5 in the Gulf of Mexico, but weakened just before making landfall. It dumped over 10 inches of rain in some parts of Florida, with other areas receiving an additional 8 to 12 inches. After the break, Belizean youth discuss disaster risk reduction. But first, here's the weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
Feel Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings of the First Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. exclusively on Channel 5 Belize. The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings every Sunday at 8 a.m. on Channel 5 Belize.
So the doctor has given me 5 days off. How do I get paid from Social Security? This is how Social Security works for sickness benefits. First, you must check that you qualify. You must be employed when you got sick, have made 50 paid contributions, have made 5 paid contributions within 13 weeks immediately before getting sick. To ensure that your processing goes smoothly, be sure to complete and submit your claim form within 14 days of the first day of illness.
Thanks, I get it now.
Visit our website or contact any of our offices to have someone assist you. Also, be sure to visit our Facebook page and give us a like to stay informed. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you've been waiting for. In this corner, we have the masters of limitless power and unbeatable connection. Pioneers of 4G LTE in Belize, it's the undefeated champion, Smart. And in the other corner, struggling to keep up, it's the other guy. Fight! Of getting blow after blow from a plan with the other guys? It's time to tap out and join the winning postpaid plan provider. Smart's postpaid plans are a total knockout to the competition, and they have once again powered up their postpaid plans. Sign up for one of Smart's boosted postpaid power plans today and experience the victory of superior service. Smart, bringing people together.
The National Emergency Management Organization hosted the country's first ever Disaster Risk Reduction Youth Forum today. Youths from across Belize District gathered at the Princess Hotel to provide their input on Belize's disaster risk reduction policies. The forum also served as a platform to engage our youth in discussions on disaster preparedness, response, and climate resilience. The idea is that empowering the next generation with the knowledge and skills to build a safer, more resilient Belize is an investment in a more resilient future. News 5's Paul Lopez reports.
Disaster is everyone's business because when a disaster hits, it does not discriminate. The young and the old stand to be affected. Today, children are at the forefront, providing key input in how Belize can improve its disaster risk reduction practices and policies.
One of the things that I feel like children face is like, let's say their house gets floods out. Like, okay, they have their textbooks in there and stuff like that. The resources that they had are no longer there because it was damaged from the disaster. And then there isn't always resources that they can get it back. So for example, okay, the uniform get damaged and they only have one, and then like they have to wear this uniform again and again and again. And then when they go to school, people, exactly. So I feel like that would be one of the things that they don't have the supplies.
Brielle Goff, a student at EP York High School, provided us with real examples of how children are impacted by disasters and the importance of reducing these vulnerabilities. She was able to voice her concerns at the National Emergency Management Organization's first ever Disaster Risk Reduction Youth Forum.
The importance of having the youth building the framework for resiliency is a must as we continue as a country to conquer the issues associated with climate change. And so the new approach to disaster risk management is to ensuring that we have an all-inclusive approach to ensuring that we have a resilient nation. The goal is to ensure that young persons are aware that they have a role to play in disaster. Disaster is all of our business. Ensuring that they are actively involved in your local communities, that you are part of the plans, the programs, that you are part of your family hurricane plan or family hazard plans.
The University of Belize's Environmental Club was also a participant in today's discussion. Their interest is geared towards reducing the risks faced by our natural environment in a disaster event.
Whenever we talk about disasters, we have to take the environment into consideration. Obviously, let's say we have a hurricane coming. It's not just us, our human lives and our infrastructure that gets damaged, but also you have to think about all the biodiversity present, for example, in protected areas. All of those are getting affected as well. A lot of times we have many species dying. Even if we take into consideration, like for example, down south when all the forest fires are happening, thousands of species of animals died, and a lot of them, it's detrimental.
UNICEF Belize's participation in this event is also crucial. As Jenna Hoare, the emergency officer at UNICEF Belize, indicated, 1 billion children globally lives in disaster-prone environments.
What we understand and what we see on the ground is youth and children are among the most vulnerable group within disaster situations. And so this is why it's so important that we start from very early on to educate young persons on key concepts when we talk about disaster risk reduction and disaster risk management. They play a very pivotal role throughout our country. They have innovative ideas. I remember talking to one of the young persons earlier, and they highlighted that how can we use AI to advance early warning systems. So young persons play a very critical role.
We have something to say too, because then we're in this generation, like what they said, I was a teenager once too, like what the adults say these days, I was a teenager once too. Well, now we're the teenagers of this generation. So the millennials could gossip because it's a Gen Z time, So that's why we have something to say, because then we can relate to it, because this is our generation. We can act on it like AI. My granny don't know how to use AI. My mom, the other day, I had to show she how to scan the network. You know what I say?
At the government level, Minister of Disaster Risk Management, Andre Perez, says the most important policy at this time is building resilience.
Well, of course, this is what we are saying here, building resilience. We have to learn. We have to cope with this. We can't change things now. We have to better prepare ourselves, preventing that we are prepared whenever these things are coming. That's important, and that is what is being highlighted, and henceforth carrying the message to the youth.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
Teaching children healthy nutrition is not an easy task when the unhealthy options that exist are backed by huge marketing budgets to increase their appeal. One school has discovered that one way to change a child's mind about eating healthy is to include healthy eating habits in their daily routine. That's what Stella Maris School is doing with Fruity Tuesdays and Water Wednesdays initiatives. And that approach works in tandem with a regional campaign to eliminate the region's most deadly food product, trans fat. Teaching children to eat healthy empowers them to avoid food options that can lead to non-communicable diseases. News 5's Paul Lopez tells us more in this week's installment of Belize on Real.
A healthy, nutritious diet is essential to a child's physical and mental well-being. This is one of the reasons why the Ministry of Health and Wellness launched the Healthy Habits, Healthy Schools, Healthy Belize campaign. Stella Maris School adopted the program.
As a staff, we came up with different activities that we can do. So on Tuesdays, we have what we call Fruit Tuesday. Parents are encouraged to send their child with a fruit so that we don't want any chips, any biscuit. So you will see that the different classes will do different activities with the fruits. On Wednesdays, we do a Water Wednesday. We don't want to see any ideals, any juice. So students and teachers are encouraged to drink water on Wednesdays.
These two students at Stella Maris School are busy at work, preparing their plate of fruits for a midday snack. They are encouraged to bring their own fruits and to get involved in cutting up the fruits, while they learn to identify each one. As a school for children living with various disabilities, too much sugary drinks and snacks can prove counterproductive.
What is this?
What?
And this one?
A
Second, what's this one? Banana.
Apple.
And this one?
Grapes.
We asked a couple of the older students why it's important to eat healthy. What are examples of healthy food?
Orange, banana,
so fruits.
Fruit, orange, banana, carrots, lima, didn't they?
Alright, and what are some examples of unhealthy food in your opinion?
Unhealthy?
Yeah, unhealthy.
Well, sweet,
fried chicken?
Fried chicken.
Why should kids decide to eat healthy foods? What is the benefit for children?
Well, for make they grow, for make they look better and make, well, build up their blood so.
Yeah. And for you, how often do you eat healthy? Be honest.
Well, I eat healthy like every Tuesday and Monday and.
How about Wednesday and Thursday and Friday? Like when you at home, how often you eat healthy?
Well, sometimes I eat healthy Thursday and Friday.
Martinez has learned to associate healthy eating with a healthy eating program implemented at his school. This is an important start to developing a lifelong healthy lifestyle. Why is it important for children to eat healthy food instead of unhealthy food?
It's because we can strong and powerful and you eating your fruits and vegetables, bread and everything you need.
What are some examples of healthy food?
There are fruits, vegetables, all kinds of things that we need to eat.
Their knowledge is a testament to the fact that anyone can learn to differentiate between healthy and unhealthy food options to make better choices. Also, introducing these lifestyle lessons into the school system builds a healthy nutrition foundation at an early age.
You know, after hard days of work, you come home, you're tired, especially a teacher, and you have your children at home waiting for you and you just look for something easy. But we can do easy stuff that are healthy. We just need to be more educated about it rather than just go and grab a fried chicken and a pot bread.
Salgado contends that teaching children healthy eating habits in schools begin with adults first understanding the body's daily nutritional needs. In fact, there's an entire regional campaign geared towards banning a food product that is a danger to Caribbean health, trans fats.
Trans fats are an unhealthy type of fat that could lead to, having high cholesterol. It's naturally produced in animals, and also you could find it in dairy products. But also the unhealthy trans fats are industrially produced.
It goes through a process called hydrogenation, which turns the liquid to solid so that the product can have a longer shelf life. Shortening and margarine butter are examples of trans fats. It can also be found in many store-bought prepackaged snacks. Ice cream also contains trans fats.
What makes it bad is because it solidifies at room temperature. Imagine what it does to your arteries, right? So because it does that, it causes a blockage in the arteries, which could cause and lead to heart disease. And also, before it even leads to that, is your levels of cholesterol increases, right? Which is one of the risk factors of having a heart disease.
So are there healthier options? Like, since this is solid, like, are the liquids healthier up to an extent?
Yes, so we recommend unsaturated fats. These are vegetable oils. These stay liquid at room temperature, so it's less likely for it to solidify or clog the arteries.
With this knowledge in hand, Elijah gave his advice to children about eating healthy.
Well, I tell them, you always have to stay healthy. You always have to eat good food every Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah.
Then, for my opinion, for me, I supposed to eat healthy food too.
Yeah.
Because that will build up me and that will make me better.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
As we reported on Wednesday, 37-year-old Santiago Siao Jr. sadly passed away earlier this week after a long battle with a debilitating bone condition. Siao had been a dedicated member of the Belize Police Department since July 23, 2006. However, in March 2023, he was retired by the government due to medical unfitness stemming from a workplace injury in 2009. Diagnosed with avascular necrosis, Siao reportedly faced repeated denials for invalidity benefits from the Social Security Board, SSB. Despite his appeals, he said he received a late notification, which prevented him from making a timely second appeal. Earlier today, the Social Security Board issued a statement clarifying Siao's invalidity case. The SSB release says that after reviewing the application and relevant documents, the medical board, guided by the Social Security Act, ruled that Mr. Siao did not meet the requirements for invalidity benefits. Exercising his right to appeal, Mr. Siao took his case to the Social Security Appeals Tribunal on August 16, 2023. This independent body built into the act allows members to challenge the decisions made by the SSB. The tribunal includes a chairman who is an attorney at law, along with representatives from employers and employees. During the appeal hearing, Mr. Siao had the chance to present his case and was represented by an attorney. However, the tribunal upheld the SSB's decision. Mr. Siao was informed that he could further appeal to the High Court, but according to our records, no such appeal was made. When we return, Belize celebrates Taiwan Day and 35 years of friendship.
In the heart of Belize, where the dawn greets the docks, every ship and every wave tells our story. We are hardworking, committed to every load, every day. We are meticulous, planning each detail for perfection. We are innovative, always finding new ways to enhance our efficiency. We are resilient, overcoming challenges together as a family. We are the heartbeat of commerce,
the strength of this nation.
We are the port of Belize. Every ship that docks, every crane that lifts is powered by our spirit. We don't just operate a port, we cultivate a community. We are the port of Belize, proud and strong.
Shop smart for your Samsung devices in Belize and enjoy benefits you won't get anywhere else. When you shop locally for your Samsung, all your devices will be covered by a 1-year local warranty. You won't get that when shopping with the other guys. When in doubt, always look for the Cellular World seal to know you're getting the real deal. Shop with confidence and enjoy your Galaxy knowing that it can be repaired locally at our Samsung Service Center by certified Samsung technicians using original parts and machinery. Even better, enjoy the best LTE experience in Belize, knowing that your Samsung devices are compatible with major local carrier networks. Get the ultimate Samsung Galaxy experience only when you shop from authorized Samsung resellers nationwide.
LG dual inverter compressor cools air faster by operating at speeds as high as 120 Hz with more stability compared to conventional models. It also saves up to 70% more energy by operating at speeds as low as 10 Hz with more stability. It reduces torque vibration down to 40% for quiet outdoor unit operation. Stable operation with low vibrations also results in increased durability.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you've been waiting for. In this corner, we have the masters of limitless power and unbeatable connection. pioneers of 4G LTE in Belize. It's the undefeated champion, Smart. And in the other corner, struggling to keep up, it's the other guy. Fight! Tired of getting blow after blow from a plan with the other guys? It's time to tap out and join the winning postpaid plan provider. Smart's postpaid plans are a total knockout to the competition, and they have once again powered up their postpaid plans. Sign up for one of Smart's boosted postpaid power plans today and experience the victory of superior service. Smart, bringing people together.
On the other side of the globe, longtime allies of Belize celebrate National Taiwan Day on October 10th. Here in Belize, people are joining in on the celebration at the Taiwan Expo 2024. This expo celebrates 35 years of friendship between the two countries and allows Taiwanese businesses to enter the Belizean market. News 5's Brittany Gordon was there to meet some of the participants. Here's a story.
October 10th, or Double 10 Day, marks the founding of the Republic of China, Taiwan, after they overthrew the Qing dynasty and relocated to the small island off the coast of China. It is a day of pride for all Taiwanese citizens, and as Belize observes 35 years of diplomatic friendship with Taiwan, the celebration continues at Taiwan-Day Expo 2024. Goldie Lee, a member of the Taiwan External Trade Development Council, provides more details.
Our main mission is to help to assist Taiwanese enterprise to expand their international trade. And for this year, because it is the 35th anniversary for the diplomatic relation between Taiwan and Belize. So we are so happy and so glad for this expo. We have 21 Taiwanese exhibitors here, and 8 of them participating in person. The others participate by catalogs and samples.
Belizeans stopping by the expo were met with a range of products, from hardware to food and beverages, and even the medical industry. Any Taiwanese business seeking to find footing in the Belizean market was invited to participate. Sales representative from Kwangyang Motor Company, Sawai Udong, landed in Belize on Wednesday. He is excited to showcase the scooters and ATVs that he believes Belizeans will gravitate to.
We're actually doing overseas marketing. It's over, I believe, 30 years. So now we're seeking more opportunity all over the Central America and Southern America cities. And we believe Belize we have some product we believe it's fit in the Belize city.
Kimco is an environmentally conscious company that Lee believes will be an advantage when entering the Belizean market.
We found that the people here, they are willing to promote, they precious their environment. And the product from Kimco, this company, they also emphasize on protect the environment. Therefore, their products is really meet the need of this country.
While many of the representatives flew in from Taiwan to participate, a few have already established businesses in Belize, such as Ishen Chen from the 9-6 shopping center that has been operating in Belize City for over 20 years. Chen explains the joy she feels from being welcomed into Belizean culture.
I personally really like Belize, because compared to other places, like you say, Belize is a country really, people are very friendly and you know, the life is very simple. You know, we don't have to be having a complicated or how to say, you know, like a struggle life, because you know here the people is willing to help foreigners.
On display were a variety of Taiwanese pastries and snacks. Chen explains which ones are the store's best sellers among Belizeans.
But they also like this kind of mooncake. Yeah, not mooncake. We call it sangcake, but it's inside with some sweet fillings. Like, I don't know how to call that. It's the sugar from the sweetness from the wheat. Yeah, the sweetness from the wheat. But they like this, and also our Taiwanese famous pastries, which is this pineapple cake.
The Taiwan International Cooperation and Development Fund, ICDF, has been a long-time source of funding and educational opportunities for Belizeans.
We have people that would come that has never checked themselves, so it's very important for us to be out there at every opportunity, because like that we have people that would come and would find out whether they have high blood pressure, high glucose, and start some kind of you know, checking themselves and do a change in their lifestyle. Yes, it's not going to happen immediately, but they will have an idea of, oh, hey, I need to do something about my health because my glucose is high or my blood pressure tested high today.
The celebration will continue into the evening with a ceremony highlighting the bond between Belize and Taiwan. Brittany Gordon for News 5.
Today, members of the Belize Port Authority and various stakeholders came together to review the latest data on Belize's port industry. With this information in hand, the Belize Port Authority aims to collaborate with stakeholders to make improvements to the ports. News 5's Brittany Gordon was there for the presentation of these findings. Here's a story.
Last year, the Belize Port Authority sought consultants to conduct an economic and social impact study on the country's ports. Now, over a year later, representatives and stakeholders have come together to discuss the study's findings. We caught up with Kaylon Young, the acting port commissioner at the Belize Port Authority, to get more details on what they discovered.
Some of the key findings was that, for one, Belize the port does have a great impact on our economy first and foremost, but we can do better. There is room for improvement in terms of infrastructure at the ports, in terms of digitalization, in terms of efficiency. So how we could increase the efficiency of the ports, increase the infrastructure of the ports to have a greater impact on our economy and the social well-being of Belizeans.
The study highlighted that for Belize's ports to stay competitive, they need to adapt to advancing technology. Ships are getting bigger and harder to handle, and without expanding, Belize's port industry risks falling behind.
So if we want to keep up with the times, keep up with the changing the infrastructure, keep up with the happenings in maritime sector, we have to do some improvements, improve efficiency, improve in digitalization, and see how we can ensure that as time changes, we're keeping up and we're assisting in doing our part in building our economy and helping the communities.
With the data now in hand, the Belize Port Authority will determine what recommendations can be made to enhance the port. Eduardo Lugo, CEO of Maritime and Logistics Consulting Group that conducted the study, explained that their initial proposal focused on three main deliverables: evaluating Belize's existing ports, conducting an economic and social impact assessment, and assessing the Belize Port Authority itself.
We meet with them and the position of the people working in the Belize Port Authority, and the output of that study was what needs to be done to capture more value of the port sector in Belize, and how the Belize Port Authority, what measures do they need to take to improve their performance and to improve the port sector.
The economic impact assessment was broken down into two models, cargo and cruise. Luga explains the decision to separate them.
In cargo you have agricultural, for example. If you increase agricultural, that impact directly in the port because of export of agricultural products. But in the case of tourism, you see that people fly from other countries to Belize, so they pay airline tickets, They arrive to Belize, they pay taxis or they rent cars, they pay hotels, they pay, they go to the restaurants, for example. So it's a different activity that needs to be measured in a different way. So that is the reason for making two separate studies or two separate models for that study.
Luga felt it necessary that cruise tourism be appropriately evaluated because of the extensive contributions it has to Belize's economy.
The cruise activity, the cruise tourism, has an economic impact of close to 4.2% of GDP in Belize, and the economic impact is 1.3. For every dollar that the port receives, there are 30 additional cents in the economy due to cruise tourism.
Brittany Gordon for News 5.
Up next, RCC BPO opens new location in Belize City.
At RF&G Insurance, we're committed to safeguarding what matters most to you. Offering coverage mile after mile, our offices and agents located across Belize ensure that you are protected. Secure your property with RF&G Householders' comprehensive policy. From your home to your belongings, we offer protection so you can enjoy life to the fullest. For more information on your coverage options, contact our team of experts today or visit your local agents. We'll be ready to assist. Don't forget, it pays to get it right with RF&G Insurance, a Rowe Group company.
Rising prices got you down? Well, let Benny's lift you up in these tough financial times. Right now, get low prices on construction materials, such as lumber. And whenever you make a purchase, remember to get your B-Box, which is free money. Only at Benny's, quality and savings.
MacNav Visual Strategies, where creativity meets business. Step inside our world of innovative visual solutions. From captivating graphic design to expansive wide-format productions, our services are tailored to bring your vision to life. Experience the impact of our high-quality signage and billboards, embroidery, promotional items, and professional paper printing, all designed to elevate your brand's presence. Every project reflects our commitment to creativity, quality, and client satisfaction. At MacNav Visual Strategies, we transform ideas into visual realities. Get in touch today.
We all know about the phasing out of single-use plastics and the enactment of pollution from the plastics regulations. One of the key components in this regulation states that for an item to be considered biodegradable, it must consist of more than 50% of bio-based content. Here, you will find out how the Department of the Environment determines what items meet the criteria and what equipment is being used to guide that process.
Since 2019, the Department of the Environment has been working with CIFAS in doing microplastics. To this project, CIFAS has donated 2 microscope Fourier transform infrared spectroscopy equipment to strengthen capacities on monitoring and enforcement to reduce marine litter and plastic pollution. The FTIR can be used to identify unknown materials. The Department of the Environment will use the equipment to determine the composition of single-use plastics and biodegradable products to enforce the environmental protection, pollution from plastics regulations.
While we have a long way to go with the implementation of the pollution from plastics regulation, having this equipment is one step closer. For more information on what's being done about biodegradables and ways you can help, visit our website at www.doe.gov.bz.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you've been waiting for. In this corner, we have the masters of limitless power and unbeatable connections. Pioneers of 4G LTE in Belize. It's the undefeated champion, Smart. And in the other corner, struggling to keep up, it's the other guy. Fight! Tired of getting blow after blow from a plan with the other guys? It's time to tap out and join the winning postpaid plan provider. Smart's postpaid plans are a total knockout to the competition, and they have once again powered up their postpaid plans. Sign up for one of Smart's boosted postpaid power plans today and experience the victory of superior service. Smart, bringing people together.
Just 3 weeks ago, the contract to pave 3 miles of San Carlos Road was signed, and now the project is in full swing. This development is set to transform the lives of local farmers and residents, making it easier for them to travel to their farms and markets where they sell their produce. Today, Agriculture Minister Jose Abelardo May and MIDH engineer Irving Timbrell visited San Carlos to discuss the project further. News 5's Marian Ali was on the scene to report on the event.
The paving of 3.07 miles of the San Carlos Road under the Resilient Rural Belize program will begin shortly. The project is valued at $1.19 million. Today, Minister of Agriculture Jose Abelardo May said that the current road has been traversed by villagers who are now engineers and persons at the university level.
Hay una carretera que llega hasta la aldea de San Carlos.
We have a highway now that leads you straight to the village of San Carlos. In those days, there was even a school in San Carlos. The kids had to walk to Indian church to get their education. Those same kids who had to walk from San Carlos to Indian church are now engineers today. They're agricultural engineers. One of them is studying in Cuba. He's getting his bachelor's in business. Those are the same kids who had to walk.
Engineer with the MIDH, Irving Timbrell, explained that there had to be studies done before the work could begin.
Porque muchas veces hemos construido carreteras que han afectado.
Many times we have gotten roads that have affected the people who live near the edge of the road. So those things we have to take into account so that we can have an effective solution that covers all things in the case of that project. Even though we didn't do a complete study several times, we came here to see the people of the village to know what can happen. When the road itself is finished, we take those things into account and we include them in the design of the road itself.
Timbrell says that after the technical studies are completed, they had to come up with a workable concept for the project.
Después de eso fuimos a la oficina para hacer un desarrollo de mesa.
After that, we went to the office to do a developmental plan to come up with a concept. After all that, how high we had to raise the road, how wide it had to be, the places where there were weaknesses. And after going through all that, we came here to talk to the chairman to present things we found.
Reporting for News 5, I'm Marian Ali.
Radical Center RCC BPO celebrated the grand opening of its 8th location in Belize, right here in Belize City. This new office is a shining example of how the industry is boosting the local economy. Here's News 5's Brittany Gordon with more details.
The BPO industry is on the rise, and thousands of Belizeans across the country rely on it to make ends meet. Wednesday was a big day for Radical Center BPO as they celebrated the opening of their 8th location in Belize. Prime Minister John Briceño was there for the grand opening in Belize City, highlighting the significant contributions the BPO industry makes to the economy.
The BPO sector has come a long way, from employing 1,124 persons and operating only in Belize City, Bamapan and Ladyville in 2013. Today, in 2024, There are over 16,000 employees, and currently we are seeing one more expansion in Belize City that will satisfy the exigencies of the BPO sector's growth. This is in line with the government's projection to increase employment in this sector to 20,000 by the year 2025.
He went on to explain how the BPO sector significantly boosts Belize's economy, with 17 BPO companies collectively spending over $191 million in operating expenses within the country. The founder and CEO of RCC BPO shared that in the 19 years since the company was founded, it has grown into a workplace that people are proud to be a part of.
Today marks the beginning of a new standard of excellence in infrastructure within the BPO industry in Belize. For many years, we worked on developing a great tracking record of integral quality, and now we are matching the infrastructure to the level of quality of our services. This new building is more than just a building. We designed this place thinking on a place that our employees and clients can enjoy and consider a home away from home. Most people picture a BPO only as a place where people take calls. We see it different. We see RCC as a place where people learn and develop skills.
The Philippines has the largest BPO industry in the world, something that is being replicated in Latin America. David Long, Executive Vice President of RCC BPO, tells us how the company made the transition into the Belizean market.
When I came to Belize, I was coming from the Philippines, and which the Philippines, as most of you all know, is very well renowned in the BPO industry. And I knew it was going to be a challenge coming from the Philippines and stepping into the Belize environment, just because the population, infrastructure, and some things I was concerned about. But through Nubia's unwavering belief in Belize's potential, she really convinced me we was in the right place, and Belize had something really special to offer. And shortly after that, she made me a believer. So you fast forward 20 years later, when Nubia and RCC rolled the dice coming to Belize. Who could have imagined that we'd be standing here today celebrating not only the growth of RCC, but the birth of an entire industry in Belize.
In this expansion, RCC BPO has joined forces with outsourcing company Fusion CX. Kishore Sarogi, co-founder and director, details what this expansion means for the company.
It is with immense pride and joy that I stand before you to officially welcome RCC BPO into Fusion CX family. While some time has passed since we announced our strategic investment, this is my first opportunity to interact and address all our team members and interact with you all. Just to provide you a brief background, Fusion CX is a global CX provider, having location in 14 countries, 15,000 plus people working worldwide. So now you are part of a much broader family, and we welcome you all to the RCC family, to Fusion CX family. At Fusion CX, we believe in partnerships rooted in shared value, a commitment to excellence and mutual growth.
Brittany Gordon for News 5.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, good night.